Once we're mobilizing the correct area, then we can get into rule number 2, which is to relax, breathe, and listen to your body. Starting with relax. Well, as you'll see, many of the mobilizations that we do don't feel too great. In fact, some of them might be uncomfortable, especially if we're foam rolling, we get on a trigger point that's nice and sensitive, we're in an extreme stretch. Point being, some of these mobilizations might be uncomfortable. Your nervous system's #1 reaction to discomfort is bracing against that discomfort. So we will physically brace our musculature in our body against the mobilization. Our first goal when we get into a mobilization is to prevent that. We want to be as relaxed as possible when we are using these techniques. If we're bracing against the mobilization and all locked up, well, we're not going to get too much of an adaptation out of our bodies. But if we're relaxed and we're learning new ranges of motion, we're stretching, we're letting the mobilization do what it's supposed to without fighting it, then we will see long-term change and quicker adaptation. A way that we can relax is by breathing properly. If you've ever taken a yoga class, I'm sure you've heard of diaphragmatic breathing. That is how we want to breathe. Diaphragmatic breathing is simply the idea that we're going to breathe using our diaphragm by breathing down into our stomachs, as opposed to chest breathing where we breathe up into our ribs. When we get that belly breathing going, we stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is just a fancy way of saying our body's relaxed response, which will allow our mobilizations to be much more effective. So let's diaphragmatically breathe with that relaxation as much as possible. Finally, when we're in a mobilization, we want to listen to our bodies. What do I mean by that? Well, as I said before, some of these might be uncomfortable. We need to discern whether that discomfort is positive or negative. Okay, if it's just a little pain from going through a mobilization, or if it's discomfort that is going to lead to an injury. Dr. Kelly Starrett, a guru of movement and mobility, put it perfectly when he said, if something feels sketchy, it's probably sketchy. So if you're in a mobilization and it feels like it's going to hurt you, listen to that. Get out of that mobilization and do something else. It's not a bad thing to listen to your body and prevent injury. Okay? So when we're in a mobilization, first thing we want to do is relax. We can relax by breathing, and when we have that relaxation, then we can discern whether discomfort is positive or negative, and if it does feel negative, if it does feel it's going to hurt your body, then stop, listen to that, and move into a different mobilization.